Hey guys! So, I am back for another Kingdom Hearts video, and today we're going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. Now, I have been excited about this so much because I am a huge fan of Xehanort and his best friend over here. I used to call him Icarus. I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce his name as well. But, you know, pronunciation sometimes just I hear from different people about his name being right or wrong, so I don't even know half the time. So, what we're going to talk about is this man right over here. It seems like he is the master of all of what is happening in Dark Road. So, let's talk right now about all of this. I have a lot of theories that are going through my head right now, and I'm ready to give you all of the just theories that are just built up in my brain. I'm ready to just drop it all in front of you and maybe get people block me because they're gonna be like, this is too much. Oh, and also I have a special announcement coming soon, probably tomorrow. And we'll see what you guys think about that. Alright, so let's go. Alright, guys. So, what we're about to talk about is first the seating area. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, why this right here? Well, actually, the seating area in this location is very nice to reminisce of a picture actually in Norse mythology of Odin, Loki, Thor, and others that were part of the system of godmanship, if you want to call it that, in Norse mythology. Sorry, I'm sick. That would sit around a table and get the children to listen to Odin tell stories or give his thoughts and opinions or teach the kids about the future and how to be a god and how to be a rightful god. But that's one thing about this picture that's actually pretty interesting. But now we're going to go to the next interesting part about it. Scala Akylum, or Scala Akrim, depends on how you guys say it. It's very beautiful, and it does remind me of a lot of Norse mythology's beautiful take on the world of the color of that colors bring out the best of a person. So I in high school and I was in college for 2 years. I studied mythology very, very well. I was in all AP history classes and all those different things about mythology. And it wasn't called history either. It was actually called AP World History because we learned about different things and different beginnings. So, Norse mythology, which is, in my opinion, not as exciting as Greek mythology, sorry, please don't come for me, is one of actually the biggest parts of this game right now. Because what we're going to talk about is actually the connection of the teacher, Xehanort, and Icarus. The others right now, I don't know much about still, but we're going to talk about these individuals here. Now, I would like to thank HMK for this image because I can tell you that this image was not easy to find and was not the best quality either going into getting it when I first got it. It was actually not the best quality at all, and I couldn't actually really get it not to be so ugly. So, subscribe to this channel if you guys, if any of you watching actually even care. But let's get started about this. All of this. Alright. So, in HMK's video, he was talking about how he thinks that this is a concept of Odin being the teacher. Oh, sorry if you hear that. That's fireworks in the background. But that is... that makes sense. Because due to the fact that if this is all inspired by Norse mythology, it would make total sense. Actually, let me turn up the brightness. There we go. So, I want you all to be able to see that Norse mythology is actually very, very fond for having the best characters of creation due to the fact of their ideals, concept, and political views, if you want to call it that, due to the fact that Odin, if you want to say the king of gods in Norse mythology, or as he is called, the one, there you go, the one, in many alterations of him as well, or iterations, like in Marvel, there's many things that are, how should I say? I'm gonna say taken for granted for the fact that not many people know about the original creation of how Norse mythology was actually taught. So Odin is a man that had two children. One was Thor, and Loki was his adopted son. If this man really is a inspiration of Odin, I'm not trying to say he would have kids, but I'm trying to say that the students that he are teaching here will have inspiration from him. And this is where it's going to come from for my theory for about this. Odin was a wanderer of knowledge. That's what he became. Xehanort became the seeker of darkness when he became Ansem. Now, I want to pull those two strings together. A wanderer and a seeker are two different things, yes. But Odin was known as a wanderer of knowledge, and to his age, actually, it seems as if that he has actually gotten a lot of knowledge and experience probably in his lifetime in Kingdom Hearts, or in this universe of Kingdom Hearts. Which means, if this is true, and the knowledge that he has was passed down to people like Xehanort and Icarus, it would make sense of why Icarus had the title of Master and passed it down to Aqua, and was able to summon the place, as everyone called it, Castle Oblivion. A place that could not have all of its knowledge opened. Because that is something that's impossible. You'll never be able to go through the entire world and learn everything, because that is impossible. And that's why it's so interesting that if he is inspiration of Odin from Norse mythology, like HMK said, that would be pretty fascinating due to the fact that it would coincide in why Castle Oblivion would be so hard to know everything about and hard to just even get anything out of. Because even in 358 over 2 days, or /2 days if you want to call it that, when Saïx asked Axel if he checked every room for information, when Saïx told Axel to dispose of all the traitors, even Axel said himself that it's impossible to look through every room in that castle. That means that it's impossible to look through every room, because that might be symbolism for Castle Oblivion. It is a place where knowledge cannot be fully gained. It might be a symbol that you can wander and look for something forever and learn things throughout that entire time there. But one day, you will understand that you might not be able to get the main knowledge you are looking for, because it might be impossible. That would be a cool concept, and that's why it will make sense for why Xehanort would become Ansem the Seeker of Darkness in Xemnas, because it would help for why the title of Ansem the Seeker of Darkness exists, or why he took his master's name and attached on Seeker of Darkness. Because if Ansem is a seeker of darkness, that means he's seeking knowledge of the darkness, which would be such a cool concept, because that means Icarus here was a seeker of knowledge regarding more of teaching his students, which he would have been the next heir of teaching the students of Aqua, Terra, and Ven how should I explain this? What true power comes from. Is that how I should explain it? That makes sense. I hope. But let's keep going here with the parallels. I want to also tell you guys that I do think if he is inspiration of Odin as well, will he give judgment? Now, I know that a lot of you don't know, but if you've watched Marvel movies like Thor, you will understand that Odin does have the power to judge something and give a weapon a meaning or reason to have existence. Just like with Thor, he said, in the eye of Odin, this weapon here will be granted upon the one that it's deemed worthy to. Which means, is that why some of his face isn't showing? Or is it just because, it's just the sprite of him just standing there? But if that is true, that means he has one eye. Just like in Marvel, he has the power to give something meaning, or even people meaning, or give them a greater knowledge to seek, because Odin was a wanderer for years learning things. And even in mythology, Odin was not also the most peaceful man in the beginning of his time. He took over the 9 realms. There was more, but I'm just going to say 9 for right now, because that was the original number I learned about in school until we expanded on the alternate realms. But Odin was the one that stopped the 9 realms and destroyed them and made them come together, because he thought that would be a better way to portray peace. So that even shows that even in the beginning of Odin's life, that he was not the most peaceful man, but he did it for a good reason, to give peace, just like Xehanort. They did anything possible and did no matter what possible to make peace come true in their eyes. Or Odin's eye and Xehanort's 2 eyes. But with that explains so much of why Xehanort also believes that a false light is in charge. Now, I'm not trying to say that this master here was teaching them that the light is something that they should not, appreciate and accept. No, I think the Master of Master was the one that taught Xehanort that the light is something that is false. But what if Xehanort in the cutscene said that he was going to do the exam to become a Keyblade wielder, which means, or a Keyblade master as well. What would have been the reason why Xehanort would not have become that master? What if it's because the inspiration of Odin right here could see with his eye the darkness in Xehanort? Now, like Icarus said, there is more to light than meets the eye. That would be such a good symbol for him if he does only have one eye, and that was a lesson that he taught to Icarus. That Xehanort is so smart and so intelligent that he always has everything down packed. But let me explain something. Once you feel you're unstoppable, you start to deem things not worthy of your time, just like how Xehanort believed that the light could do nothing to stop him, because he said, even in Kingdom Hearts 3, he plans for every eventuality to Sora, which that could mean so many different things. This could tie a lot of open holes together. And what makes it even better, everyone that's, going to try to experience this with everyone else, this could also be the representation of young Xehanort's ideology of the world needing him now. Now, I want to explain something to you guys. If you remember young Xehanort from Birth by Sleep to Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like he became easier over the time. Now, I don't want to say that he became weaker. No, I do think young Xehanort is very powerful. But in Birth by Sleep, he was the hardest boss in the game. In Dream Shop Distance, he was a boss that Riku fought. And then in Kingdom Hearts 3, he was a joke when it came to many other things, especially of his data battle. His data battle to people is one of the easiest, or actually the easiest, some people say. And is that because Young Xehanort's cockiness of thinking that his power is unstoppable? Or is that because Sora became so powerful that he caught up to the gap between him and Xehanort? That's just a weird guess, in my opinion. Which means those lightsaber things did this inspiration of Odin teach him how to use that? Because that would make sense, because he was holding them like daggers. Just because Loki in mythology, and even in many games like Smite, he uses daggers. And he holds them like a dagger, or you could say a backward sword, which is still close enough to a close combat fight. Because what makes it interesting here is that if you all would like an experience, I don't know if any of you played Smite here on Xbox or PlayStation or the PC, but Odin uses a long spear, or a lance if you want to call it that, because sometimes the edges are different in different pictures or drawings of him. It would make sense because Thor uses a hammer. And the thing is that a hammer represents strength. But no one here uses a hammer. Xehanort does not use a hammer, nor does Icarus. They use a sword, the Keyblade. They use a blade. But if you want to think about it, Xehanort did not use his Keyblade in Birth by Sleep. Now, I know a lot of you could say because, well, maybe the design was complete, but maybe people could say he didn't want to spoil the power. But I want to say something to you all right now. No, I think that during the time when Xehanort was the mysterious figure, was he traveling time after the Entry Examen he left, or during the time when he met the Master of Masters? Because no one knows still how he gained that Keyblade. That is still a mystery. And if you want to know something, in Odin's family tree, or never just that, in Odin's friends, like time of people, other gods in Norse mythology that respect him or not respect him, there are many instances where when Xehanort is looking up into space and sees a purple light in the darkness of space in small glimmers of light, that could represent Nox. Nox is one of the goddesses of darkness. So that could represent that meaning there, which is pretty interesting on its own when it comes to a lot of things here. Now, Norse mythology, if all this wasn't inspired by Norse mythology, but by Rome or Greece, I would have said that Xehanort would have gotten his Keyblade from a man probably named Kronos, because Kronos is the god of time in those mythologies. Now, I want to say that to be able to control time, that is no easy feat, not even in mythology itself, because time has a limit that you can go through without having mistakes, just like in Kingdom Hearts, which is pretty interesting. Nomura is a genius when creating games. He always backs up his evidence when it comes to many different things, and now he's backing up the evidence of Xehanort and Icarus probably soon, which is pretty interesting, because the main factor is I want to know how he gained that Keyblade. And the thing is that why did he not use it anymore? Now, could he have gained it from his Ansem self? No, because Ansem him did not have the Keyblade. He used the Keyblade when he was in Terra's body, his normal Keyblade he had when he fought Terra in them in Birth by Sleep. So that is weird to me. It really is. And that's what I'm trying to say. What could it be? What could it really be? And that's what I don't understand, that he will probably give us information on in this game. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a lot of information. Because I don't know, to tell you all the honest truth. I don't know, and I'm excited to see what's going to really happen with Dark Road. And we will see. We will all see together, because this is about Xehanort's journey and Icarus. And I have a lot more pictures I'd like to talk about regarding this entire thing here. So I hope you all are ready because I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of videos on Kingdom Hearts Dark Road. So I'll see you all next time, and I'll see you all for the special announcement that I'll be having. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, please.